What's going on, Sagittarius? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Self-Drive. I'm surprised you're here. I appreciate your, what do I appreciate? Your subscription, your subscriptions, your likes, shares, donations. Your support really does warm my heart, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing I'm going to get it together, Sagittarius, I promise. So the theme of this week's monthly spread is going to be love. And whether you're in love, looking for love, this one's for you. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Okay, now we're starting to get a groove here. Your space has been cleansed, almost. The gems, just the energy is just fantastic, Sagittarius. You know, we're just good vibes all around here. Now, with this spread, I am going to be pulling 9 cards and be doing clarifications as need be, and of course a good old surprise card at the end, so don't you worry. And in case you all were curious, I'm using the Light Seers Tarot deck, and I've included a link for this deck and other decks that I like using in the description box down below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here, which is going to be what this person is like. This is personally my favorite part. I'm not sure why, but just that anticipation. So higher self, what is this person like coming in for Sagittarius? Let's see what this person might be like, Sagittarius. And keep in mind too, this isn't a gender specific reading. We're just reading the energies here. So yeah, let's see what's coming in for you, Sag. Oh, interesting. You know what? This is good. You got the 3 of Swords in reverse here. And so I feel like this is going to be a person who's probably gotten over a recent heartbreak. You know, maybe they've been doing some, some shadow work, you know, maybe prior to meeting you here. You know, it could be, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like something that they've just got let down in love. It could be just whatever life, you know, some stuff can throw at you. You know, maybe they've, however it resonates for this person here, but I feel like this is someone who's getting over it, you know, who's taking some steps towards healing, you know, because that's what the 3 of Swords is about, reversed. You know, this is because normally upright, it's very somber, kind of melancholy energy here. So with this gives me hope, and you know, because this person is hopeful. You know, they've kind of been in the darkness maybe for a little while here, but now they're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel here. You know, we're feeling receptive for love. It's just ooh. this is looking nice, Sagittarius. I like this. You know, let's keep it moving. Let's get to your second card here, which will be how you'll meet. So, and it's kind of like how you know, where your energies need to be at for you to meet. So higher self, how will Sagittarius meet this person here? Let's see where the energy kind of needs to be at for you two to kind of line up here. Oh, interesting. You got the 7 of Wands here. And I feel like with this, you know, with the 7 of Wands, normally this is a card of like, protection and, you know, like kind of like standing up for what you believe in, you know. So for like even, for example, let's say with this relationship, you know, let me finish this definition before I get into that. Because with the 7 of Wands in reverse, I feel like how you're going to meet this person is maybe when we're not worried about what other people think about maybe our dating choices. You know, maybe in the past we've been one to, when we would introduce someone to let's say like a family member or maybe to like our friends or something, if their energies didn't resonate with each other, then you were like, maybe some of us, and you know, you're in a safe space, you know, judgment-free zone here. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But you know, maybe we've, maybe we had in the past, you know, maybe put other people's opinions above our own, you know, and maybe let that kind of color how we feel about the person when that may not necessarily be true, Sagittarius. You know, it could be just that, and it's not to say that I feel like you're impressionable or something like that, or you can't make your own decisions. But you know, when we think about our friends and families, you know, their opinions carry some weight. You know, they're close to us, you know, and it's understandable here. But I feel like with this popping up in this position here, you know, if we're going to be able to I really feel like have a relationship that really kind of feels like our own and really kind of be in this thing here, you're going to have to detach from other people's opinions here. It's one thing. Here's where I'm kind of at with this thing. It's kind of like how I tell you at the beginning. You know, you take what resonates with you, and then you leave the rest with them. You know, because they too, there may be some valuable insights in here. You know, maybe they see something for you to bring up to this person. You know, there may be something like, it's not to say like shut them out completely, but you know how to find that balance, and also too, you know, to set up boundaries. You know, I feel like that's been and you know, like I feel like maybe that's like not that I think it's a problem of yours, but that is something that I feel like it's been like a common theme kind of on and off there, Sagittarius, is that there's been this, maybe for some of us, we have we feel weird maybe about setting boundaries, or you know, if a dynamic changes, maybe we're not sure how to go about it without, you know, maybe ruffling some feathers, or you know, we haven't quite you found a way to maybe kind of softly say like, hey, I don't feel like our vibrations are matching. We need to do something about that here. You know, we either need to discuss a solution, or maybe we need to part until our vibrations are lined up again. So I know that's a whole lot for this one card, right? but to wrap that up, you know, I do feel like it's going to be when you, because if this is a person that you chose, Sagittarius, you both have chosen each other here. You know, when you meet someone, that's like your souls are in a contract here. You know, it's not random, the people that come in and out of our lives here, you know. It can be random if that's how we look at it like that. You know, if we just think that things just sort of like happen to us just cause. But, you know, when you know, there was a purpose in your past decisions that you've made, Sagittarius, and your decisions going forward. You know, that's and that honestly applies for whether you're in a new relationship or if you're going to be, you know, if you've been in something in a while. You know, this is between you and this person here. You have to go on this journey together, because now you're operating in a new vehicle here. You know, we have to figure out how to drive this thing. You know, not other people can't drive this ship here, because this is your intimate space now. You know, this is someone that you're letting see the whole of you, even in this vulnerable state, you know, when we deal with this stuff here. So okay, let's move on from that. You know, that's just something to keep in mind, because I get where that can be, you know, sometimes where we can hold, where, you know, where we let our loved ones unintentionally maybe dictate how we make decisions here. So just something to keep in mind, Sagittarius. Okay. Right, let's, after that, you know, all that talk, yeah, definitely, let's keep it moving. Let's get your third card here, which is going to be your first impression of this person. So, higher self, what's the first impression of that, you know, Sagittarius might have for this person here? Let's see, might be our initial thoughts here. And I say our, I'm living through you right now, Sagittarius, because you're bringing it. This is some profound lessons here so far. Interesting. You got the Hermit in reverse here. So this person, I really feel like I'm seeing a trend here. You know, because I feel like this is a person who's like ready to, your first impression might be, it gives me like almost like a gregarious type of energy. You know, someone who's really outgoing, who's, you know, really ready to kind of like bust out of their shell and really just kind of get back out there and mingling and just trying to find love here. You know, that's because the Hermit is usually a card of introspection here, you know, where we need to, if we have some lessons, if we have like Seven of Wands in reverse that we need to work on here, that's very Hermit energy here. You know, that's usually what this energy is for here. But I feel like with this being in reverse, you know, this person, this is someone again who's like, they've gone through that shadow work here, and you know, I'm hoping, you know, that they've seen the light. You know, they found their drive again. You know, that they feel like they can like open themselves back up to love and be vulnerable and be and allow themselves to grow with another person, and just like, yeah, this is, I like that. I definitely get like a confidence here. You know, this is someone, I dig it, you know, and I feel like too, you know, maybe this could be someone who maybe will help you give the confidence that you need to, if this is something that was resonating with you, Sag, you know, that if people's opinions hold a lot of weight here, you know, this person could also too, you know, teach, you know, maybe you can learn to, how to articulate your boundaries in a way that doesn't come across like maybe like where it won't like maybe offend someone if that's what we're worried about per se, you know. So I dig that. That's nice. That's very nice energy. I like where this story is going. So let's get to your fourth card here. Let's see how this will affect you. Let's see how you feel about this story here. So higher self, how will this affect Sagittarius? Let's see how this energy is going to, how this could potentially work out for you here. Oh, interesting. You got the Nine of Cups in reverse here. And so now the Nine of Cups is normally a card of happiness, you know, a card of fulfillment, a card of just you have like really good vibes, you know, just like all your cups are going to be fulfilled here. So I'm wondering if, excuse me, I'm wondering if with this Nine of Cups energy, I'm wondering where this kind of like sadness is coming up from here. That's I feel like maybe if we're, you know, possibly if we're staying in the Seven of Wands energy, if we're letting, again, people kind of dictate what we feel about this person here, that could potentially definitely be a cause for this energy here. But let's get a little bit more on that. That took a turn real fast. Higher self, can we clarify the Nine of Cups, please? Yeah, let's get a little bit more on that, Sagittarius. Okay, you got the Knight of Pentacles here. And I feel like with this thing, you know, I feel like with this energy possibly, for some, you know, and I'm more so, let me start with the people who've been in a relationship. I'm getting with this combo here, because the Knight of Pentacles is someone who's like, he's a very patient figure. And I don't know if I think I said this isn't a gender specific reading. But the Knight of Pentacles is very, very slow moving figure, you know, very practical in his approach. And I'm wondering if, with, you know, if we've been in a relationship, maybe if this person hasn't healed yet, maybe it's taken some time to heal, to find this happiness here, and this could be maybe trying our patience a little bit, you know, maybe, and that's going to only resonate for some if that's where your situation is at, you know, maybe they're a little bit more in this thing than they thought, you know, maybe they might have got out of the hermit too soon. And, you know, it's been in this place where they may still be kind of operating for hurt and they may not have eyes on it. And if that's the case, Sagittarius, and this has been something where if we haven't talked about it, talk about it, you know, because if you let this thing kind of fester and, you know, let that bother you, you'll say it doesn't bother you now, but then it could potentially come out in something else. You know, maybe if they're the type, like, they'll forget to vacuum one day and then you're like chewing their head off, but that's not the reason that you're upset. It's because of, you know, this source problem here. I hope that makes sense. You know, I feel like that's what's resonating for some. For people who are new, I would say, I'm going to kind of piggyback off that too, you know, if this person is, because maybe they're aware of whatever's bothering them here. They're taking the steps, but, you know, they may still be early in the process here. You know, maybe they're trying to get back out here. You know, maybe they think that might be a way that they could potentially heal. And I say with this thing, you know, use your judgment on this, Sagittarius. You know, if this is something that seems like a lot for you to deal with, it's okay to say that you can't handle that. You know, it's like, listen, if this is too heavy for you, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if anything, I'd rather, and this is just me, you know, if I were on the other end of this thing, I'd rather someone tell me that they can't handle this thing than to kind of string it along and then for it to blow up later. And then if I'm still not healed, then that's another thing that's compounding on top of this thing and it becomes this weird spiral here. So I say with this, you think about your energy as well in this thing, Sagittarius. That's where I'm getting with this, you know. You can be as patient, and you know I would never tell you what to do. So trust if this thing starts to wane on your happiness here, you know, then it might be time. It could be time where we either need to discuss this thing, see if we can find some ways to remedy this, if that's where we want to put our energy here, or it might be time to consider some alternative routes here, you know. But again, this is your journey here, and you know I'm gonna support you whatever you choose along the way here. So that's where I'll leave that there. So let's get to your fifth card here, which is going to be what kind of relationship this will be. So higher self, what kind of relationship could this be for Sagittarius here? You know, we've been talking about boundaries, and it's been actually really profound, Sagittarius. Let's see what's going on. Interesting. You got the Fool in reverse here, and I feel like with this, you know, it's that was a weird cadence. I feel like with this, the Fool is a card of inspiration, a card of that inspiration, that lust for life. You know, it also kind of gives me very kind of it gives me very kind of childlike energies too, in the sense of, like, you know, that excitement of the unknown. You know, if you tell a child, you know, of something new, you know, they're really excited and they're really curious about this, and you know, that's the kind of Fool energy I get, or that I get with the Fool. And I feel like with the popping up in reverse, you know, this could be something that I feel like, again, if it's not, and this is for both, you know, new or in a relationship, you know, I feel like if this is something where, if it's kind of like the same old thing, you know, if we find that, like, you know, we're not, if there's no growth happening in this thing, then we're not going to feel inspired with life. You know, it's going to just drag us down. And, you know, in Sagittarius, keep in mind too, you know, depending on how long this thing lasts, you know, and if we're staying in this more kind of low vibratory pace, you know, at some point, you know, it initially started with the person's problem, but this is what they brought you here. And if you see that thing and then we keep going, but then we wonder why we're not happy or we're not feeling inspired here, at some point we're going to have to take responsibility for that, because you are in charge of your own happiness here. And if we're enabling this behavior, if we're not promoting growth, but we're enabling, then that's going to lead to where we feel like we're in a rut, where you're going to feel like it's your mind gets in this weird kind of loop. You know, that it's a tricky place to be. So my 2 cents with that would be to, again, just kind of, you got to decide how much is enough. And, you know, if this person is willing to work with you, then dope. You know, that's cool. We like growth here. But if we're at this place where it's like, let's say you're trying to help this person, you know what, this could be, I know this energy is supposed to apply for them, but the situation could be vice versa, Sagittarius. You might be the one who could need some healing right now. And this person is trying to lift you up, but if we're not doing any sort of growth here, it's, you know, that's, you know, what are we doing? And thing too, Sagittarius, you're the sign of expansion. You know, your ruler is Jupiter. If you ain't growing, then keep it moving. You know, that's that Sagittarius energy. You know, like that's that fire energy. And think so, and realize too, you know, I feel like sometimes, you know, maybe we might, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm not even going to mention that, you know, because that'll come back to your own pace here. But yeah, just keep that in mind, Cancer. I just did Cancer's reading. You might be dealing with a Cancer, isn't that shameless? But let me move on before I start digging myself a hole here. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to leave with that, Sagittarius. I hope that makes sense. So let's get to your sixth card here, which it's going to be for obstacles, as if this thing hasn't possibly already been one big obstacle here. So, but you know, with any relationship, you know, good or bad, you know, there are going to be some road bumps along the way. So let's see what we're dealing with. Higher self. What are some obstacles that Sagittarius might be dealing with at this time? You know, let's see what are some hurdles that might come your way. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So that was glib. You got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse here, and I feel like with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it's pretty much all that I've said up until now. If this thing is up until now, if we're again, if we're staying on that low vibration, there's going to be no growth, because the Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings. It's about it can do with your finances as well. You know, it's just your abundance. You know, is coming, and that's this can, again, if we're staying in that low vibrational state, that's what you're manifesting right now. You know, if you're operating from a sad, and you know, we're saying like everything sucks, why is nothing growing, I'm in a rut, you know, blah blah blah, you know, then that's your thoughts are powerful, Sagittarius. You know, that's thoughts become things. You know, the universe is it's not selective in what it manifests. Whatever you put out there, that's what's happening. And that's not to scare you. It's to invite you to maybe try a different way of thinking. If because think about it this way. If we're like, this person is, you know, they always bring me down, and you know, if we're just casting a lot of negativity on this person and in this situation here, how things been looking so far, if this has been resonating with you? You know what I mean? I invite you to try it from a different realm, and it's, you know, focus on the positive, because that's okay, because I'm keep getting the word naive, and I'm not calling you naive, Sagittarius, but I feel like it's more so the thought would be, because where I'm trying to get at with this is that the ace, if we focus from a positive place, and we try to, because again, it doesn't take away from the suck, but if we throw some positivity on it, we can think about it from a clear headspace. Because when we could think about, it's like, it's not, we're not focusing on, oh, I hate this, you know, I don't like that, you know. It's like, well, what do you like in a relationship? I like communication, I like this, I like that, you know. It's I feel like that when I brought up that naive, that comment, it was to say, like, it's naive to think that anything good can come from a situation if we're steeped in negativity. You know, we're going to have to be, if you want this Ace of Pentacles, if you feed this Ace of Pentacles negativity, that's how it grows. It's like that, if you ever heard that study with like how plants react to music. If you give it chaotic and dissonant energy, then it's going to die, you know. But if you give it this, if you feed it with, you know, more calming, more positive, more uplifting music, then it'll flourish. And that's where I feel like this, if you want this thing to flourish, then that's the energy that we have to feed it. Things that you don't feed your plant garbage to grow. Well, you know what I mean. I'm not a botanist, but you know what I mean. You feed it love, and you feed it compassion, and you feed it joy, and you feed it, you know, Empress energy. You know, that's where I'm trying to get at, Sagittarius. So I hope that makes sense, because I know I'm not coming at you, you know, but it's just something to think about if that's resonating with you. Now let's get to your seventh card here, which is going to be the outcome. It's like, where are we at here? This has been very enlightening, Sagittarius. I like this. Higher self, what are going to be the outcomes? Okay. Other than maybe some tricky shuffling here. Let's see what's some outcomes for you, Sagittarius. We got the Ten of Swords here. And so with the Ten of Swords, you know, it's the Ten of Swords is a tricky card to play with, because in upright or in reverse, it's how you work with the energy, because the Ten of Swords is like hitting rock bottom. You know, you're at this place where you feel like there's no hope, that everything sucks, you know, that like Ace of Pentacles in reverse, you know, nothing's growing. This is, you know, it's hell. You know, it's really tough energy when we talk about it. I mean, or at least it can be, you know, because the Ten of Swords is the Sun in Gemini. And when I think about this, and this is kind of astrology according to Justin here, but Gemini is a sign of duality. And when I think about when we're in a Ten of Swords situation, when I think about when you think about a time where because we've all been there, where we've been at rock bottom, where we felt like we'll never get out of this thing, or even if you're in it, you know, there's been progress that has made. If you're still getting up every day, that's progress. With the Ten of Swords, It's one of those things, if we focus on the bad, then that's where it's going to be here. But the Ten of Swords is a very powerful card in the sense that it invites us to get back up again. It shows us that we, even in the face of you at your worst, the Ten of Swords invites you to look for the sun. You know, that's where that sun in Gemini comes in. You know, we can focus on one end that this thing is never going to make it. And I'm not telling you to force this thing to make it, Sagittarius, but I'm just saying, for if we're trying to be in a relationship, if we're coming from a hurt place and that's all that's going to come is hurt, you know, it's going to be just, you know, and if we're not doing, or, you know, if we're not doing anything to get any type of healing done, you know, that's where we're going to be trapped in this thing. You know, it's a self-imposed prison. But the thing too, you know, it's the duality. The nice thing about this thing is here that you can get out of it because it's one that you built. You know, this is the prison that you've built it. No one else put you in this thing, so you can knock it down whenever you're ready, Sagittarius. And that's in love, in life, and all this stuff here, you know. But but I hope that makes sense. You know, this is geez, this is profound, Sagittarius. I have to say, you probably have had the, considering how we've had very little clarifiers as well, this is very profound. There's a lot, I feel like, for some of you that I feel like, you know, we got some contemplating to do here. We got some real big questions to kind of ask ourselves here. So yeah, let's get to your eighth card here, because I'll keep you here all day. How will this ultimately affect you here, other than, honestly, enlightenment, Sagittarius? I tell you what, this has been, yeah, wow, absolutely. I'm going to sound like a broken record, so let me just tell you what the King of Cups is about. The King of Cups is, you see how this guy's sitting in the ocean here? The ocean is his emotions here, and when we think about our emotions, that can be a lot, you know. But the thing with the King of Cups is, when he's intuitive in a way that when he doesn't attach to anything in the ocean here, because if you were to attach to everything that's happening in the ocean, nothing would get done. He'd stall. He'd be overwhelmed. Then we spiral, you know. But a level-headed King of Cups, and this is Pisces energy here. Pisces is more duality for you here, Sagittarius. It's the fish, you know. It's about it's finding that balance here, you know. Finding something where, if we, like how I was saying, if we cling to the negative things, you know, that's going to keep us where we're off our game here. But if we just allow ourselves to allow that space for the stuff to get the wisdom from this stuff here, because this stuff isn't just happening just to be random here, you know. There's lessons in these things here, and that's what the King of Cups is trying to find in all of his situations here. He is receptive to all of his emotions, the good and the bad, and then we figure out what caused that reaction. You know, why do I feel this Nine of Cups in reverse? Why do I feel like, you know, for both of you to invite that stuff, you know, why am I feeling Three of Swords, you know, all this stuff here, you know. This is something where our head and our heart needs to be in alignment here, you know. That's let's bring it home. Yeah, that's because Pisces, or now I don't even, like, we're all over the place, because Pisces energy it's about finding that your stuff here, you're gonna find a balance in all this stuff here. That's wow. Sagittarius, let's get to your last card here, because like it's higher self. What will Sagittarius learn in this thing, you know? What's the nugget of wisdom from this thing, Sagittarius? You got the hold on, I because that blew my mind. King of Swords is a card of clarity. The King of Swords is wise. The King of Swords is the type that him and the King of Cups have very similar traits. the difference with the King of Swords is that he's not as emotional as the King of Cups. He is very much, he's way more analytical than these things here. You know, for him, emotions get in the way of his actions. And I feel like the lesson for this thing is that where we find that balance of where we're not being reactive to a situation here. You know, that's where I'm really kind of getting with this energy. You know, that when we're operating in love and in life, Sagittarius, that we're being mindful in this thing here. You know, that we're being, again, conscious of what we're manifesting. Because even if we're in a relationship and we're feeding it that negativity, that this thing, I don't know why I'm with this person, this thing is gonna fail, you know, I need to leave this thing. Well, then, you know what? If you're feeling unhappy, realize too, you know, sometimes it's like, you know, if you find yourself in these spirals here, the answers are being put in plain sight for you. Think about what it is that's nagging at you, and then analyze that. Get an understanding on that, and then take some action to it. You know, there's going to be a fusion that's happening here, but you do that balance. You know what I mean, between your head and your heart here, Sagittarius. You know, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there, because I'll keep you here all day trying to understand this thing. But I feel like it's gonna be something I can't tell you how to do that. You know, you're gonna have to sit with this thing and figure out how that works, how that looks on you. You know, and again, you know, I'm gonna be there with you every step along the way, whatever decision you make, because at the end of this thing, you're going to be wise from this stuff, and you know, then we'll be able to exchange stories about it, and then, you know, we can then you know, it's just a whole a whole nice thing, Sagittarius. So I'll leave that there. That was a lot. But in the best possible way. I enjoyed every bit of that. And you know what, if you did too, give that a thumbs up. You know, if you know someone who's going through this thing, share that with them. You know, sun, moon, rising, whatever, Sagittarius. Let's raise that vibration. Subscribe, hit that bell button. You'll get notified when I release videos each week. I'm all on Facebook. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placements, or maybe you're dealing, I got my son is in Cancer, so I hope you're not dealing with a Cancer, but maybe you could be dealing with a Cancer too. You know, come check out the Chariot, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday. It's all Cancerian energy, lunar shenanigans, all that housekeeping in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Yeah, wow. See what I'm talking about here? Wow. Okay, let me tell you why I'm on one now. This is your card, Sagittarius, and it's in reverse because we are not in balance. Some of you, if this is resonating with you, there's an imbalance here. And it's asking you if we're feeling this, you know, if we feel this dissonance, that's higher self, however you connect to the source, trying to reach out to you and let you know, like, hey, this isn't working. We are not operating at our highest vibration right now. Let's check in for that. You know, there are alarms here. Temperance is about mindfulness. You know, when you think about I'm thinking about temperance as like a dictionary word definition. You know, it's just like about that moderation, you know, finding that balance, you know, and that's what we need to do, Sagittarius. If you want to be where you're operating at your best, where you feel like you look at this person here, they're balancing the sun and the moon here, two masculine, feminine energy, opposites, all this stuff, Gemini energy, Pisces energy, all this stuff here. You have enlightenment coming from this thing here, from your relationships, and pay attention to that, Sagittarius. It's you know, there's something profound. Your higher self is trying to get you to your best version here. So I'm gonna let you go out there and think about that and ruminate on that and really dig deep in that and find the strength that's trying to get out here, that this potential that's trying to get out of here if we've been feeling like things have been struggling. And oh goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there because this really was profound, Sagittarius, and thank you for bringing this energy to me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe out there working with this whole thing. And believe it or not, you know, even if we're in it, you know, I'm not sure where you're at on your journey, how you're feeling, but just so you know, you raised my vibration through the roof. This was empowering here. And I'll catch you on the next one later.